These are going to be 10 awesome Canadian bands you need to listen to. Come in and see what I'm talking about. Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from My Turntable. Hoping you a great morning this morning. It is Thursday morning. As always, a coffee kind of morning. Cheers, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. As I said in the intro, these are 10 awesome Canadian bands you need to listen to. There's a ton of awesome Canadian bands out there, all kinds of different genres. Some are well known, some are not. Some you should know, some you don't. I've picked 10 of my favorite bands. Hard rock bands. Most of these are hard rock albums. Some, again, are known. Maybe some aren't known. I think if you listen to them, you would absolutely love each one of these albums or bands as what I'm going to show you here. You guys are pretty knowledgeable, so you probably know most of these, but maybe you don't. But that's what I do this for. I love introducing new bands or different bands to people that they don't know about, but they should know. So starting off with this one, I just picked this one up not too long ago. This is the Toronto band A Foot in Cold Water. You've got great hard rock, blues rock, progressive rock. These guys have been around from 1970 to about 81. This is their debut album, 1972 debut. Includes a pretty big ballad hit for the band, Make Me Do Anything You Want. But the rest of the album is full of great hard rock riffs. Strong bass playing by Huey Leggett. Danny Taylor's a great drummer. Tasty lead guitar from Paul Nauman. It's a great blend of hard rock and ballads. Highlights the band's musicianship and the vocals of Alex McKen. Nice balance of power rock anthems, arena rock, more melodic, atmospheric songs. You got a couple tracks on here like On the Wind and Deep Freeze, sleeper hits from the album. It's really, really good stuff. You should check them out for sure. Before there was Bachman Turner Overdrive, there was Brave Belt. This happens to be a promotional copy. I got this one at Steve's Music in Kingston. If you don't know Steve's Music, that's an adventure. Albums from floor to ceiling. You're stepping over albums to get to other albums. But Steve knows where every album is in the store. It's amazing. Again, it's an adventure. But anyway, getting back to this. Brave Belt was a Canadian rock band from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Formed by Randy Bachman Turner Overdrive, guitars and vocals. Former Guess Who vocalist and keyboardist Chad Allen, who started the Guess Who. Randy's brother Robbie on drums, and Fred Turner on bass. So pretty much the nucleus of Bachman Turner Overdrive, excluding Chad Allen. It's a great, solid rock album. Heavier than their first album, apparently. I don't have their first album. I'd love to get it. Their first album was more country rock and a softer tone. This is a harder, heavier rock album. You got a big hit song on this here, Dun Robin's Gone. Mixture of rock and psychedelic tinged tracks. Great musicianship as well. I mean, these guys, they went on to become one of the greatest bands in Canada. This led to the formation of Bachman Turner Overdrive, and actually Bachman Turner Overdrive's debut was supposed to be Brave Belt 3, but they changed that. They brought in Tim Bachman as a guitarist, and then Fred Turner took over lead vocals, and Randy Bachman shared lead vocals. But this is considered must for fans of Bachman Turner Overdrive for sure. It's a great album. Great album. How about the mighty Goddo from Scarborough, Ontario? Scarborough is a suburb of Toronto. Goddo had success in the mid-70s to the early 80s. This is Fat Cat, their debut album, 1977 debut. Hard rockin' album. You got bassist and lead vocalist Greg Godovich, guitarist Gino Scarpelli, drummer Doug Inglis. Great power chord rock, sounds from the 70s. Typical power chord album. It's a great Canadian rock album. But I also love the cover on this one too. Great stuff. Great stuff. This one you probably know. Maybe. This was also a VCLT from one of my... actually, Aaron Mutha Alomar gave this to me, I believe. Aldo Nova. It's a stage name of Aldo Caparucio, Canadian hard rock musician and music producer, keyboardist, vocalist. Pretty successful in 1982 debut album Aldo Nova with the single Fantasy. Some say it's a one-hit wonder album. I kind of tend to agree, but it still rocks. It's a sleeper of an album for sure. I put it on every once in a while. But it's great stuff. He's a awesome musician. In 1997, he won a Grammy Award for Album of the Year as he co-produced Celine Dion's 1996 album Falling Into You. He co-wrote 4 songs on the 2000 album You Know by Lale, which won a Grammy Award for Best Latin Rock or Alternative Album. So he's no slouch as a writer or a producer, and also as a musician. But it's a great album. Great debut album for sure. And yeah, maybe a one-hit wonder. This is a great band that should be better known. This is Headpins and the album Turn It Loud. This was supposed to be a side project in the late 70s by Abe Bryant and Brian McLeod. They were members of another fantastic band, Chilliwack. I love Chilliwack. They're so good. But Brian McLeod, when he heard the vocalist that they were to bring in, Vancouver rock singer Denise McCann, it just blew him away, so he asked her to join the group. Matt Frenette, another fantastic drummer with Loverboy and also Streetheart, was the original drummer for Headpins, and Bernie Aubin was the original drummer for Loverboy, but they switched roles. Frenette became the drummer for Loverboy, Aubin became the drummer for Headpins, and they were pretty famous in Canada. They should have been bigger in the States. Denise McLeod was replaced by another fantastic vocalist, Darby Mills. You should hear her vocals on this one. Such a strong voice, such a rockin' album too. Great stuff from the Headpins. Or Headpins. Not the Headpins, Headpins. Helix. From Kitchener, Ontario, Southern Ontario. Awesome Canadian hard rock and heavy metal band. 1974 they were formed. Best known for the big single Rock You off this amazing album, Walk on the Razor's Edge. Excuse me for a second here. These guys have toured with Kiss and Aerosmith and Rush and Motley Crue, Alice Cooper, Whitesnake, Night Ranger, Heart, Quiet Riot, Wasp, Ian Gillan, Motorhead. I mean, these guys all over the map. This is a great combination of hard rock and heavy metal. You got Brian Baumler, the great vocalist, Brent the Doctor Dorner on guitars and backing vocals, Paul Hackman on guitars and backing vocals, Daryl Gray on bass and backing vocals, and Greg Hintz on drums. Awesome band. One of my favorites, and you guys probably know this band. It's Moxy. Short-lived band, unfortunately. I think only 3 albums. I've got all their 3 albums, but they actually made it pretty big in the States as well. They were formed in Toronto in 1973. They toured Canada before they had a big hit. Can't You See I'm a Star. Then they started to tour the States. They had a lot of radio airplay in the States. Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit all gave them airplay. San Antonio, Texas. Joey Anthony, the godfather of rock in San Antonio, on Kiss FM was hugely responsible for the popularity of the band in Texas. They actually had, when they went to the U.S. in 1977, they were the opening act for AC/DC. So again, huge, huge. On this debut, or the Black Album as it's called, Tommy Bolin, amazing guitarist, Deep Purple, James Gang, solo artist. He was in the studio next to them, and he heard them playing, and they needed a guitarist because the guitarist got mad about the producer or something. And so they asked Tommy Bolin to step in, and he played on all the tracks, lead on all the tracks except for 2 off the album. I think that just enhances. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tracks on here. So 6 of the 8 tracks he played lead on, and that just enhanced the album for sure. But a fantastic band in Moxy. This one here is pretty well known. Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. Great Canadian band led by Frank Marino. Started in Montreal, Quebec in 1969. They peaked at their popularity in the 1970s. They played at California Jam 2. Marino's lead guitar work is compared to Jimi Hendrix, as he's a huge fan of Jimi Hendrix. You got Paul Harwood on bass, drummer Jimmy Ayub on drums, and Frank's brother Vince on guitar. He was also, Frank Marino also had a solo career, but then he, in the late 70s, they started tour as Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. I've got quite a few of their albums, actually. This is Maxum, the debut album by Mahogany Rush, 1972 release in Canada and 73 in the States. Frank Marino wrote all the tracks, and Buddy and All in Your Mind were previously released as the singles in 1972. But what a great band, and also great guitarist Frank Marino is with Mahogany Rush. Speaking of great guitarists, you kind of almost forget he's Canadian, but this is Pat Travers, again from Toronto. Started way back in 1970. He saw Jimi Hendrix play in Ottawa, the capital of Canada, when he was 12 years old. He started to pick up a guitar. After that, he started to play bands early in his teens. I think he said he was 16 or something when he played. His first band was Music Machine, not the California Music Machine. Red Hot and Merge, and then played around the Quebec area. While he was with the Merge, he was noticed by Ronnie Hawkins, who also noticed Robbie Robertson from the band. He was able to pick up some pretty good talent. So Ronnie Hawkins invited him to perform as part of the Hawks. He's released a ton of albums in his career. I think, 20, I don't know how many exactly. This is Black Pearl, 1982 release. You've got La La La, Love You, Rockin', I Wanna Kick a Boot, Abogana Kick Booty, and there's an instrument on here called The Fifth. High quality musicianship from Pat Travers. Wow. High quality musicianship from Pat Travers. I love the energy, the skill of the band, the skill of his playing. This is highly underrated for sure, but an amazing player. And finally, from Hamilton, Ontario, Southern Ontario, this is Teenage Head. My only Teenage Head album. This one happens to be on pink vinyl as well. Great Canadian punk rock band from Hamilton. This is Frantic City, the second album by the band. 1980 release, certified platinum in 83. Frankie Venom Kerr is on vocals. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. Gord Lewis on guitar, Steve Mahan on bass, Nick Stepancits, that's a hard name to say, on drums and backing vocals. This one's got powerful drumming, catchy hooks, strong performances, great vocals by Frankie Kerr, and also guitarist Gord Lewis. You got a couple of guest musicians on here, piano and saxophone, on a punk album. Critically and commercially successful, this album is. Again, a gold album for the band. Maybe one of Canada's most popular punk bands, for sure. But I love this album. It's awesome. It's so good. So there you have it, guys. There's 10 amazing Canadian rock bands you need to know for sure. Have yourself a great rest of the day. Love you all. We'll talk again soon. Bye now.